Hi, welcome to Make It with Alice, where you learn communication skills, confidence building, and emotional intelligence. I'm Alice, and for those of you that don't know me, I'm a tutor, mentor, and coach specializing in these three core competencies. So let's get right to it. One of the questions that came up from my students was, I want a nicer apartment and a better job. How do I get that? I told him, not good enough. But before I begin, what do you think is wrong with this statement? If somebody just tells you, I want a cat and a car and a nice apartment, and I want to, have a better paying job. What do you think is wrong with that? I'll give you a little minute to think about it. First of all, it's not specific enough. And because your goal is not specific enough, that means you don't have such a relationship with it. You're not as closely connected to the feelings, to the visualization of that goal, to the manifestation of that goal. It's too easy to say, I want a better job and apartment, don't we all? So in this episode, I'm going to talk about how to be specific in your goals and how to break it down. So stick around till the end, and then I'm going to drop a little bonus tip, which is what I like to do in these videos. So let's talk about something like buying a bigger apartment goal. Okay, so first of all, have you gone on to Google or ChatGPT and researched what kind of apartment would you like? What's the cost of it? And then more importantly, what does it feel like when you walk in? Have you done these exercises? Because if you haven't, it's a goal that is very hard to realize because it feels so far away. It feels in the distance. So anything that feels in the distance is harder to obtain, and what happens? You're more likely to give up. So remember, a goal that is not specific seems too far away and therefore harder to obtain. Let's get specific on that apartment. Where is it located? How much does it cost? How many bedrooms? How many years will it take for you to save for the apartment? What does every week look like? When you're saving for this apartment, are you paying in cash? Are you taking out a loan? Which banks have you talked to about taking out a loan? These goals are important because we want to have the specific goal and then reverse engineering. Reverse engineering means work the goal backwards. So you're going to take the goal and work backwards. Now that we've identified what the goal is, we're going to work backwards. So we want to break down those steps. Okay? And working backwards means that this is a really big goal up here, and we are going to break it down and we're going to work backwards, meaning if that goal is going to be obtained in 5 years, buying that apartment in Warsaw for 300,000 euros or $1 million in New York City, Manhattan, might take you 10 years, might take you less. Then we break down what each month and year looks like. I'm actually going to give you an example of here in Spain, in Valencia. I would like an apartment near the sea, maximum 2 blocks from the sea. It's about 350,000 euros south of Valencia. I already know what it looks like. There's going to be a nature preserve nearby. It's going to be a 5-minute walk to the beach. There's going to be about 3 rooms. I would like a wraparound porch. Maybe the apartments, if it's newer, it's going to be about 400,000. Or if I buy an older one for 300,000, I need to renovate it for about 20,000. I already have a contractor who's ready to renovate. So see how that works? It's going to take me about 5 years because I have a growth strategy here on YouTube, which is I'm hoping that in 5 years I can do 6 figures with my YouTube channel. So I have already thought this through. Only when you are specific with a goal, you can break it down. Only when you're specific with the goal, you feel encouraged and motivated to accomplish it. Of course, there's chance. Sometimes it's like, I'm not planning. I know one day I want an apartment, and then it happens. This is the same thing with YouTube. I've been on YouTube for 10 years, but enough people told me you should be on YouTube. I took it seriously this time around on this channel where I'm looking at it as a business, not just a hobby. Sometimes it's just having a goal of starting a YouTube channel is great enough because guess what? That's half the battle. Having the goal of an apartment is half the battle because some of us can't even imagine having this beautiful apartment. So, for those of you that are looking to accomplish a goal, please, please be specific. Write it down and think about how you're going to do it. Make sure to have these small steps that you can feel you can accomplish. Bonus tip. Surround yourself with people who already bought an apartment in the area that you want to buy because they're going to give you tips. They're going to walk you through the challenges they had. Again, that goal becomes more obtainable because now you know someone who did it. It's not always going to be your wife or your husband or your kids. It's not always going to be your friends. They may not support you because probably they've never done it. It's really important to surround yourself with those people that have done it. I promise you, if you just follow these steps of getting specific with that goal and breaking it down and surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who have done it, you are closer to reaching your goal. And remember, if you don't reach it, maybe something better is waiting for you around the corner. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, we end each episode with do the best that you can every day.